Hello, my name is Bronwyn and welcome to my channel, Just Get Started. This is another video in my sewing series, and in this video I want to attempt to teach you 3 things. So let's see if I can do that in 10 to 15 minutes, so wish me luck. Okay, so the 3 things I'm going to show you today is all related to one project. So the main project is we're going to make a dress. So the 3 parts of the dress is we're going to make the bodice from the Boundless knit dress, which is a pattern from Patterns for Pirates. We're also going to learn how to draft our own semicircle skirt to attach to the bodice of that dress. And the 3rd thing we're going to learn is how to put pockets in a dress. So let me tell you, I never knew how amazing it was to have a dress with pockets until I made one, and it's freaking cool. So I wanted to teach you how to do that. Another motivation for making this video is that I got my very first paid client, which is so exciting for me. Somebody reached out to me and asked me if I could make them a dress because they had seen a dress that I had posted in one of the Facebook groups that I'm part of. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for asking me to make your dress, and this motivated me to make this video. Okay, let's get started. We are going to make the bodice of the Boundless knit dress first. So what I would suggest, if you want to make the same dress as me, I would hop onto patternsforpirates.com, look for the Boundless knit dress and print out the pattern. You would then need to put the pattern together. So it's very easy to do. All you need to do is line up the pattern pieces and tape them and you're done. We are making a sleeveless dress today, so for that you need to cut 4 pieces of fabric, 2 outer and 2 lining pieces. I am using cotton lycra for the outer, a very beautiful print. The print is from the Cloth Spot, which is really cool. So I'm using that for the outer, and then I'm using plain black cotton lycra for the lining. Once you have cut out your bodice pieces, you will need to sew the outer and the inner 2 pieces together. So go ahead and line them right sides together and sew along the shoulder. You need to do that for the outer and the inner. Once you've done that, you need to line them up right sides together so that the shoulder seams match on both the outer and the inner piece. When I say inner piece, I mean the lining, so the outer fabric and the lining fabric. Okay, so I'm going to use my serger for this project, but you can use a sewing machine as long as you zigzag stitch in the seams, just to give more robustness to your sewing, to your project, and so that all the stitches stay together. Okay, with your serger, you're going to sew all the way around the neckline. So that's going to join your outer fabric to your lining fabric. Okay, go ahead and turn that the right way out. And now you should have your beautiful outer fabric with your lining fabric, but you still have the arm skyves and the side seams open. So now I'm going to show you the coolest technique ever. I never knew this existed until I followed this pattern for the first time. So thank you, Patterns for Pirates. I really am so grateful for a new skill that I learned. This is called the burrito roll method, because basically it looks like you're turning your fabric into a burrito, but you're ending up with fully enclosed arm skyves and side seams, and it's a really cool and easy method to make a beautifully lined, very neat looking bodice for a dress. Okay, so lay your bodice piece out flat on the table with the right side facing up. You're then going to grab the one side and roll it in a burrito. Once you reach the end, you are then going on each side, you're going to grab the top and flip the bottom over. The video should show you exactly how to do it, and you're going to do it on both sides. Once you've done that, grab the corners and shake it out so that you can see the arm skyve. You're then going to, I like to just pin each corner, and you're going to take it to your serger or your sewing machine and sew that. Once you've done that, you'll then pull it very carefully, pull it the right way out, and you'll see that you've got one perfectly sewn arm skyve. You're then going to repeat the exact same process for the other side. I know it sounds complicated, and the first time I read about the burrito method, I was a little bit confused, but hopefully seeing it will help you to see exactly what you need to do, because once I saw it, it was not difficult at all. So now I've made quite a few of these dresses almost without even paying attention to the pattern, because I'm so confident with how to do it. Okay, so now you should end up with 2 perfectly enclosed arms guides, beautifully lined but open side seams. So now what you're going to do is you're going to lay out the lining and lay out the outer fabric right sides together so it looks like a rectangle, and the shoulder straps are completely enclosed into the fabric, and you're going to use your serger or your sewing machine to sew straight down each side. Okay, now turn it right way out, and that's it. Your bodice is done. How easy was that? It was so simple. And you've now done a fully lined, beautiful bodice, and it looks stunning. Okay, step 2 of the tutorial today is going to be how to draft a semicircle skirt or a half circle skirt for your dress. So it's actually very simple to do. I was really terrified by this project because I've made this dress before, but I've always made a medium size, and I've just kind of hacked together a skirt from another dress that fit me, and it was fine. But the moment someone asked me to make a different size, then I wasn't quite sure what to do. So now I know how to properly draft a skirt for any size of bodice, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Okay, so now we're going to draft the pattern for the skirt. So what you're going to need to do is measure the circumference of the bottom of the bodice. So the bodice that I made for this knit dress ends just below the bust, so it's an empire waistline. So you need to measure the circumference of that bodice at the very bottom. The measurement for this particular dress is 82 centimeters. You then take that and you divide it by 3.14 to give you 26 centimeters. So 26 centimeters is what you're going to use to determine the top radius of your semicircular skirt. So what you'll do is you will draw a line on your paper and take your ruler and make a semicircular from that point, measuring 26 centimeters, and you will mark a line at 26 centimeters in order to create a semicircular curve. I hope this makes sense, because it's something that was quite difficult for me to understand, but once I saw it, it made sense to me. Once you've done that, I then lay that on my fabric, and I mark from the top of the semicircular line equidistance the length that I want for the skirt. So this particular length of skirt is going to be 62 centimeters. So I am going to measure 62 centimeters all the way down so that I can get a semicircular hem or bottom part of the skirt. Okay, make sure that you are cutting 2 of those skirt panels, because remember, we are making a semicircular skirt, not a full circle skirt. So the panel is the front and the other panel is the back of the skirt. In order to make sure that you have got the right measurements, always take your tape measure and just measure along that top curve to make sure it is indeed 41 or 42 centimeters, I think, or 41 centimeters. It needs to be exactly half of the circumference of the total circumference, because it's the front of the skirt and the other one is the back. So it needs to measure exactly half. So if your measurement was 82 centimeters, it needs to measure 41 centimeters. Okay, so now you should have 2 pieces of skirt, a front piece and a back piece. Cut those out, and then we're ready to add pockets. Okay, the Boundless knit dress comes with pattern pieces for the pockets. So cut out 2 sets of mirror pieces. So you need a front and a back times 2. Okay, so go ahead and lay out the front skirt piece, measure 4 inches down, and pin your first pocket piece right sides together from the 4 inches down marking. Pin it along the edge of your skirt. Repeat with the one on the other side. Then you would need to do the same with the back piece. Make sure it's 4 inches exactly, because those pockets need to line up. Then take your pockets and skirt pieces to the sewing machine and sew a straight edge along the pockets for the back and the front skirt. Okay, now we're going to sew those skirt pieces and pocket pieces together. So you're going to take your 2 skirt pieces and lay them right sides together. Make sure that the pocket pieces are poking out, so it's going to look a little bit weird. It's going to be straight pocket piece and straight, and then the bottom of the skirt. So you're going to sew. I like to sew with the sewing machine first, just because the edges are a lot straighter, and then once I've sewn with the sewing machine, take the serger and just finish off the edges. If you don't have a serger, it's fine. Finish off the edges with a zigzag stitch. Okay, and this is the most satisfying part, is to turn the skirt the right way around and poke in those pockets, and you just see how awesome it looks. I'm telling you, the dress looks so cool, and it's so nice to have pockets in a dress. All right, second to last step, we just have to attach the bodice and the skirt together. So you're going to turn the bodice inside out so that the right side of the bodice, so the outside side of the bodice, is against the right side of the skirt, and you're going to line up the edges, the raw edges. I like to pin this and make sure that the side seams match, because otherwise it's going to look really wonky if your side seams don't match. Pin it all together, or use your sewing clips, whatever works for you, and take it to your sewing machine or your serger and sew that together. Go slowly, because it's very easy to miss some fabric, and you don't want any holes in your dress. So go slowly. Make sure you have all 3 pieces of fabric lined up, because remember, you have a lining, you've got the outer part of your bodice, and you have the skirt, and you need to line all 3 of those pieces up perfectly so that it looks nice. Okay, your skirt is now attached to your bodice, and you have a dress. The last thing we need to do is hem your dress, and then you're done. So I like to just serge all the way around the bottom of the skirt and then hem 1 centimeter up. But you can do any hem that you want. You can do a rolled hem, a lettuce hem, depending on the fabric you're using. You can even leave it raw. Some things like soft knit, those kind of materials, if you cut it nice and straight, you can actually leave it raw, but it's completely up to you. And there you go. You've made a dress with a semicircular skirt with pockets, and it looks stunning, and I'm so proud of you guys. So I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial and seeing how easy it is to make a dress. I have personally made at least 5 or 6 of these dresses. I made some for my mom and my sister as well as for a friend, and they're really comfortable to wear. I wear mine all the time in the summer, and my next thing to tackle is how to add sleeves to a dress, because I've never done that before. I've never added sleeves to anything, to be honest, and I'm a little bit intimidated. So I'm going to watch some YouTube tutorials, and then once I have figured it out, I will come back and show you. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe to my channel. The channel is called Just Get Started, and you can see all the links to the fabric and to the patterns in the notes below. And just a reminder, just get started on those projects you've always wanted to do. Even if you don't have a lot of time, make time, because you only live once, and it's a perfect time to do those projects. So until next time, have a good day. Blah de blah blah de blah blah de blah 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 de blah blah de blah 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 blah. It's probably in there.